I see what ho, chaps and chappets, Game Chap and Bertie here.
Yes.
Yes, indeed, fellows, and I dare say we are now bringing you here some rather exciting news from Minecraft. We haven't had any of this in quite a while, have we, old chap?
We most certainly haven't. No, indeed, old chap. It's been a very long time. But we do have some rather interesting news for Minecraft, which we're sure all the chaps and chappets will love to hear.
That's right. Now, these are some quite big features, fellows, so if you like Minecraft out there, get excited, I say.
Most certainly they are. Now, Mr. Jeb, where have you been?
Mr. Jeb, all this time.
And where's my gerbils?
Look, never mind the gerbils.
Huh.
Mr. Jeb Videos
Yes.
has indeed been working on some features, and I understand he's been, shall we say, posting little teasers.
Most certainly. Now, Mr. Jeb, as you say, has been on the job, as it were, and he has said something. He has said, I'm working on upcoming features. A new dungeon, he says.
What?
With blocks and mobs. Very different from other dungeons, apparently, and he's rather happy with it thus far.
Really? Okay, so basically last time Mr. Jeb added, as I recall, the water dungeon under the sea there, the ocean monument, as it were, but now he says there's going to be an all-new dungeon with new blocks and mobs that's very, very different.
Most certainly, it would seem that way, of course, as you mentioned there, the old aqua or underwater dungeon that
Yes.
he did. And, give him his due, Mr. Jeb's rather good at doing these sort of things.
He is.
So he's come up with another dungeon. Now, we don't know at the moment where the dungeon will be located.
No.
Perhaps in the desert, maybe in the nether, imagine. We've no idea.
Well.
I'm just guessing. But it won't just be a structure, as it were, just an empty space with things in it. It'll have actually blocks, new blocks perhaps, and mobs.
Right, also now on that note, it seems Mr. Jeb posted up this little picture here, as you can see, and said this particular photo for some reason made him very happy about new block types he was working on for 1.9. Now,
Right.
what could that mean?
Well, I don't know. This was not something he did, was it?
No.
No, he did, but he liked the idea that, well, maybe he's got lights in it or something, I don't know.
Does this give us any hints, perhaps, of what the dungeon might look like?
Yes, it may well do, yes, indeed. It may be sort of little walkways like this going to and from, we've no idea. I have to wait and see, but nevertheless, this is what Mr. Jeb has said upcoming for Minecraft.
That's right, just a theory there, fellows, but an interesting one all the same, I have to say. Now, we have to move on here, fellows, because I dare say on a completely different note in Minecraft, we are talking boss fights.
Most certainly. Well, not necessarily that different. There might be a boss in these new dungeons.
Well, that's a point.
We don't know, and surely the chaps and chappettes will say what they think about that. But moving on, as you say, boss fights, yes, and a big one.
Right.
Now, we all know of the Ender Dragon.
Right, yes.
Yes, created by the beloved Mr. Notch.
That's right,
He's
of
now
course.
gone, you know.
Sadly departed.
And been replaced with Mr. Gates.
Mr. Gates, that's right.
But nevertheless, never mind.
Yes.
The Ender Dragon. Now, we've had him for a while in his good fight and everything with the Ender Dragon, but apparently there's going to be, get ready for this, chaps and chappets, a new Ender Dragon boss fight.
Are you having me on, old boy?
No,
a
I'm not.
new Ender Dragon?
No, I'm not dragging it out either.
No.
It's absolutely a fact.
Right.
It's going to happen. Now, this boss fight may be like the one on the console edition, and apparently you'll still be able to do the boss fight even if you've smashed up and destroyed the boss previously.
I see, so basically it's like a second wind for the Ender Dragon. Even if you've killed him once, you're going to be able to kill him again, perhaps, in what seems to be a new fight.
Most certainly. Now, that seems to be rather exciting news to me. Don't know what the chaps and chapettes think, or if they're even still playing Minecraft. I mean, certainly since this transfer over has happened to Microsoft, there has been sort of, perhaps should we say, a stemming off of interest in Minecraft.
Certainly, I do think so, although I'm sure it still has a very vibrant community out there somewhere.
Certainly.
Now, of course, also regarding combat, we have a rather exciting update to bring you here.
Yes.
It seems indeed that a feature that's been in Minecraft for absolutely ages, but has lain dormant and unused all this time, may finally be pressed into service, and I am talking the Quiver.
The Quiver! My goodness me! Haven't we talked about the Quiver for years and years?
I think we have.
I mean, we've done videos even about the Quiver, haven't we?
We've often said, what could the Quiver be used for? Now, it seems to me as if there's finally going to be a dedicated slot for the Quiver and arrows in your inventory, together with, yes, even a shield slot.
Right, oh, interesting. So we're going to have a shield slot there and the Quiver. Looks like the Quiver's going to be in use then. You'll be able to presumably put that on your back of your character and store your arrows there. Maybe it will have its own inventory, perhaps.
Right, I do think this is how it's going to work. It seems indeed, fellows, with new slots for the Quiver and the shield, they are looking at a large combat update here in the game, but the use of the Quiver appears to be to put different types of arrows into the Quiver, which of course means you then have different types of ammo to shoot, which can be toggled by changing what's in in your quiver. Now, of course, we don't yet know what those new different types of arrows are going to be, but it's rather exciting all the same.
That's rather interesting, yes indeed. So it looks like Steve may well be benefiting from different arrow types, a bit like Link.
Right, so are we talking, as you say, like Link with fire arrows, ice arrows, light arrows, that kind of thing?
Yes, perhaps that may happen. That may be in the pipeline. We don't know.
Right.
But they've certainly done it. And these changes we're talking about thus far are rather interesting because, of course, when Microsoft took over, everything went rather quiet.
Yes.
Now, this may be part of a new push that Microsoft is doing. These changes may come out with something else. We don't know. But
well,
we do know these changes are definitely in the pipeline.
It's quite exciting, though, the whole arrow idea, I think, because, of course, you could coat an arrow in a potion that you previously made, and then, of course, have an arrow of poison, an arrow of slowness, an arrow of weakness, or some other negative effect. You could then pelt that, or pelt people rather, with your newly found poison arrows.
Oh, most certainly, yes. It's an interesting update, no doubt about that at all. Rather fun, I think.
And if that wasn't enough arrows, there is apparently also going to be another new block, which is as yet a total mystery.
Most certainly, and whilst we're talking about new things, don't forget, well, you don't know yet, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to spill the beans.
What?
Keep an eye on here on the Game Chat channel, all you listeners.
Why?
For a new upcoming Minecraft parody!
A Minecraft parody? That's exciting, I have to say.
A Minecraft parody coming in the next couple of days, chaps and chapettes. You heard it here first, and keep your eyes out and go and click and have fun watching it.
And we're not going to tell you anything at all, other than to say, if you miss it, that would be ghastly.
It would be, yes, indeed, and there might be arrows in it, but never mind.
Anyway,
so,
Bales.
as we were saying, yes, the new block, yes. Now, a new block type. Well, blocks and blocks. What will the block do? Will it just be a static block sitting there, or will it be usable in crafting, in what, etc., so forth, what it might have, what its attributes are, who knows?
Well, indeed, we don't yet know, of course, what that's going to entail, but just to recap their fails, of course, we are looking here at new dungeons, new arrow types, a slot for arrows and shields, new blocks, and potentially a new boss fight, so really this is an awfully large amount of new features planned here for Minecraft, I think.
There are, yes indeed, but then it's been an extremely long time since we've really heard anything, or we've seen anything actually happen within the game. We've heard things,
right,
but we haven't seen anything for a very long time.
Indeed, I mean, what we saw for a while there was a lot of new features, quotes, being introduced into the game, but they were more sort of, less interesting features, sort of, more technical things inside the game, as opposed to what this update may be bringing, rather, which is things like a new dungeon, a new boss fight, new features, new combat options, etc. and so forth. Really more large-scale things, which of course by their very nature tend to create more excitement in the community.
Most certainly, yes indeed, rather a lot of fun there. I think perhaps the reason for the delay thus far may be Microsoft or those involved with the game have been sorting out the actual code and getting it sort of sorted out and put in order.
Yes.
I think it might have been a little bit jumbled.
Well, I do think there would have been a certain amount of code rearrangement as well to fit Microsoft's exact plans and ideas for the game. In other words, Microsoft will say, well, change this, change that, we don't like that, change that, and perhaps even Microsoft's game studios have actually taken a very close look at the code and said, well, this is going in here, that's going in there, and of course the Mojang team will have to say, well, yes sir, I'll do that right away, because of course they're owned by Microsoft now.
Most certainly. Now, people may be asking, well, when's this going to happen? Well, we think it's going to be 2015, actually.
This year, indeed. This very year. We certainly do think so.
Most certainly, but how it comes, we don't actually know. Will it come in the form of just the little snapshotty sort of updates they used to do? Or will this be packaged together into an entire update for the game and then introduced on a sort of new platform or similar from Microsoft? Who knows how they'll do this?
That is a very good point, and of course I think we have seen a certain dying off of snapshots recently. If you recall, there were snapshots all the time before, but nowadays, of course, snapshots are actually thin on the ground, perhaps because of the new approach Microsoft are taking with this company.
Most certainly, yes indeed. So we don't know. Let us know, chaps and chapettes, what you think. Are you thrilled about this news? Are you just jumping up and down for joy? Or are you thinking, well, yes, well, okay, well, I'm not too bothered anymore because I'm playing this other game now.
Well,
or whatever it might be, but just let us know what you think. We think it's rather fun news.
I think it's fun news. If you ask me, yes, Minecraft has had a bit of a quiet period there, but the right kinds of updates to this game, and perhaps with some inspiration and innovative touches there, will bring this back to life just as in the old days. I mean, before you know it, it could be hugely popular all over again.
Most certainly, so let us know what you think. But, I'm just looking through that list there, and I don't see gerbils there at all.
Bertie, for the last time...
No, it'll be the block. The new block. No matter when you hit that block,
Bertie,
little gerbils will come out.
Bertie, I must...
all over the ground.
There's not ever going to be gerbils in Minecraft. Will you just leave it alone, Chaps?
Yes, there will be.
There won't be.
Mr. Jim said he promised me he would.
He never said that.
Yes, he did. I'm sure he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he
Oh,
didn't.
stop it.
Look, fellows, I'm going now. Thank you for this kind of choice. I look forward to seeing you once more the next
Oh,
exciting outing I say. Until then.